lovelies, it is time for another round of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this one works is you get to help pick my TBR. So I react to a haul from over 3 years ago. I think at this point some of them are over 4 years ago. And I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled the book. And out of all of the books that I still have that I have not read from that haul, you get to vote on which book or books will go on to my next TBR. The way I determine how many of those I will select is if I have 1 through 9 unread, then I will pick the number 1 voted book. If I've got 10 through 19, I'll pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. Okay, so today we're going to be reacting to my book haul for February 2021. So, yeah, that's over 4 years now. I have the video pulled up. I also have a dog under my desk clawing at the carpet. I have the video pulled up. I have my earbuds in. So let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have another book haul for you, so stay tuned. So today I have 33 books to haul for you. It seemed like so much more because the stack was so big, but I think it's just some of them are really thick. But still, 33 books. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. I had to have it so far out so you could see all of the beautiful books. But now I'm going to bring you in closer and we'll get started on what all I got. Okay, so we can start with this stack up here. Let me go ahead and pull it down. These are all of the books that were so kindly sent to me, and thank you so much. So these first 7 books here were sent to me from my bestest booktube buddy, Clint from Reed's Readers. Love him. So the first book from Clint was The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. Okay, I don't know if I've read The Gravity of Us yet. Let me see. I have not read it and I do still own it. Let's see. This says, in this smart, heartwarming YA debut, perfect for fans of Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, 2 teens find love when their lives are uprooted for their parents' involvement in a NASA mission to Mars. Cal wants to be a journalist, and he's already well underway with almost 500,000 followers on his Flash Fame app and an upcoming internship at BuzzFeed. But his plans are derailed when his pilot father is selected for a highly publicized NASA mission to Mars. Within days, Cal and his parents leave Brooklyn for hot and humid Houston. With the entire nation desperate for any new information about the astronauts, Cal finds himself thrust in the middle of a media circus. Suddenly, his life is more like a reality TV show, with his constantly bickering parents struggling with their roles as the perfect American family. And then Cal meets Leon, whose mother is another astronaut on the mission, and he finds himself falling head over heels and fast. They become an oasis for each other amid the craziness of the whole experience. As the relationship grows, so does the frenzy surrounding the Mars mission. And when secrets are revealed about ulterior motives of the program, Cal must find a way to get to the truth without hurting the people who have become most important to him. So if you want me to read this, vote The Gravity of Us. Alright, next up. Okay, next up we have Stay Gold by Tobley McSmith. I feel like I've read Stay Gold, but I'm going to check. I have read it and I do still own it. I gave that one 4 stars. Alright, let me get back to the video. Next up. And then he sent me Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. I have read Cinderella is Dead and I'm pretty sure I still own it. Yes, I gave that one 5 stars. Alright, next up. He also sent me an arc of The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I think I unhauled the arc because I think I have a finished copy. Yeah, I have a finished copy in one of my Once Upon a Book Club boxes, so I unhauled that particular edition. Alright, next up. Okay, next up he sent me The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I feel like I still own The Black Flamingo, but I haven't read it. That is correct. This says a fierce coming-of-age verse novel about identity and the power of drag from acclaimed poet and performer Dean Atta. Perfect for fans of Elizabeth Acevedo, Jason Reynolds, and Kaysen Callender. Michael is a mixed-race gay teen growing up in London. All his life, he's navigated what it means to be Greek, Cypriot, and Jamaican, but never quite feeling Greek or black enough. As he gets older, Michael's coming out is only the start of learning who he is and where he fits in. When he discovers the drag society, he finally finds where he belongs, and the Black Flamingo is born. Told with raw honesty, insight, and lyricism, this debut explores the layers of identity that make us who we are and allow us to shine. So if you want me to read this, vote The Black Flamingo. Alright, next up. Next up is Hunting November by Adriana Mather. So, Hunting November. I still own this one. I never got around to reading it, I think. Wow. So Adriana Mather was actually our very first author that we had for the live show for Season-a-thon. And we read the first book in this series, which is Killing November. Let's see, did I write on there when I read it? So I marked Killing November read. I did not mark Hunting November read. So I might not have actually read the second one. But I know I still own it. I would definitely have to reread Killing November, because it's been a long time. Okay, so because Hunting November is the second in the series, I'm going to read you about Killing November. Because for one, I would definitely have to read that as well. But if you vote for this, I'll have to read both Killing November and Hunting November. Okay, so Killing November says, it's a school completely off the grid, hidden by dense forests and surrounded by traps. There's no electricity, no internet, and an eye for an eye punishment system. Classes include everything from knife throwing and poisons to the art of deception and historical analysis. And all of the students are children of the world's most elite strategists, training to become assassins, counselors, spies, and master impersonators. Into this world walks November Adley, who quickly discovers that friends are few in a school where personal revelations are discouraged and competition is everything. When another student is murdered, all eyes turn to November, who must figure out exactly how she fits into the school's bizarre strategy games before she is found guilty of the crime, or becomes the killer's next victim. So if you want me to read this, vote Killing November. Alright, next up. And then the last book of the ones that Clint sent me, we have Surrender Your Sons by Adam Sass. I don't think I've read this. I don't know if I still own it. Okay, I do still own this, and I have not read it. This says, Connor Major's summer break is turning into a nightmare. His SAT scores bomb, the old man he delivers meals to died, and when he came out to his religious zealot mother, she had him kidnapped and shipped off to a secluded island. His final destination, Nightlight Ministries, a conversion therapy camp that will be his new home until he changes. But Connor's troubles are only beginning. At Nightlight, everyone has something to hide, from the campers to the converted staff and cagey camp director, and it quickly becomes clear that no one is safe. Connor plans to escape and bring the other kidnapped teens with him, but first he's exposing the camp's horrible truths for what they are, and taking this place down. So if you want me to read this, vote Surrender Your Sons. Alright, next up. Now the last book that was gifted to me was from one of you named Amanda. She saw me talk about this book in a video, saying that I really wanted to get it and wanted to read it. And apparently she was not a fan of the book and had bought it herself and told me to save my money. If I really, really wanted to read it, she'd send me her copy. So she sent me her copy of Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline. I have read and do still own Ready Player 2. I actually enjoyed it. Alright, next up. Okay, now we'll do this stack up here. These are books that came from, well, the first 3 came from subscription boxes, and then the rest were books that I bought from McKay's. Okay, so the first 2 books here came from my Books That Matter subscription box. So the first one is a very small little book. It was sort of a bonus booklet, maybe. This is called Break the Glass, an essay by Rachel Edwards. Okay, so I read and unhauled Break the Glass. Next. And then the main book in that box was Skin by E.M. Reapy. Okay, I do not know if I still own this one. I haven't read it though. No, I unhauled that one. All right, next up. Next up is a book that came in my Brave Girls Book Club box, and that is The Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. I don't know. I feel like I still own it. I do still own it, and I have not read it. This says, magic and whimsy meet in this house-moving castle for a new generation from the critically adored Sophie Anderson, author of The House with Chicken Legs. 12-year-old Olia knows a thing or two about secrets. Her parents are the caretakers of Castle Mila, a Saurian palace with golden domes, lush gardens, and countless rooms. Literally countless rooms. There are rooms that appear and disappear, and rooms that have been hiding themselves for centuries. The only person who can access them is Olia. She has a special bond with the castle, and it seems to trust her with its secrets. But then a violent storm rolls in, a storm that skips over the village and surrounds the castle, threatening to tear it apart. While taking cover in a rarely used room, Olia stumbles down a secret passage that leads to a part of Castle Mila she's never seen before, a strange network of rooms that hide the secret to the castle's past, and the truth about who's trying to destroy it. So if you want me to read this, vote The Castle of Tangled Magic. Alright, next up. Okay, next up are the books that I got from McKay's. If you don't know, McKay's is this amazing, massive used bookstore here, and you can like take books and trade them in and things like that. And so I always end up taking books off to McKay's, and they'll give you credit. They'll give you cash or credit, but they don't give you as much cash, so I always get credit because I always spend it. And of course, the last time I went during my 24 and 48 hour readathon, I did like a little bit of a come with me to McKay's shopping trip, and I bought these. Actually, I have 5 books here in front of me, but I just realized that I bought 6 books there. So my haul is actually 34 books, not 33. And the reason why I only have 5 out of the 6 is because one of them is on my TBR. So let me go grab that. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So the one that was on my is on my TBR for the upcoming month is The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. So I have read and still own The Cousins, though I think I might have unhauled that edition because I ended up ordering the UK versions. Either way, for now I'm going to just say I read and still own that. Alright, next up. I also picked up paperback copies of The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King. Okay, so I've actually unhauled all 3 of those. And I didn't read them. I just unhauled them. I read the first book in the series and decided it was not really for me. I held on to them for a long time. But yeah, I've unhauled all 3 of those. Alright, next up. Okay, the next book that I got from there was The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. The Hand on the Wall. I feel like I still own that. Okay, I do still own that. I haven't read it. It is, however, the 3rd book in the Truly Devious series, and I've only read the first book, and I gave it 5 stars. So I haven't, like I said, I haven't read books 2 or 3. So for this, the one I would need to read is book 2, which is The Vanishing Star. But I can't really tell you about book 2, so I'm going to read you about book 1. which is truly devious. So this says, Ellingham Academy is a famous private school in Vermont for the brightest thinkers, inventors, and artists. It was founded by Albert Ellington, an early 20th century tycoon who wanted to make a wonderful place of riddles, twisting pathways, and gardens. A place, he said, where learning is a game. Shortly after the school opened, his wife and daughter were kidnapped. The only real clue was a mocking riddle listing methods of murder, signed with the frightening pseudonym Truly Devious. It became one of the greatest unsolved crimes of American history. True crime aficionado Stevie Bell is set to begin her first year at Ellingham Academy, and she has an ambitious plan. She will solve this cold case. That is, she will solve the case when she gets a grip on her demanding new school life and her housemates, the inventor, the novelist, the actor, the artist, and the jokester. But something strange is happening. Truly Devious makes a surprise return, and death revisits Ellingham Academy. The past has crawled out of its grave. Someone has gotten away with murder. The two interwoven mysteries of this book are in the Truly Devious series dovetail brilliantly, and Stevie Bell will continue her relentless quest for the murders in books 2 and 3. So, if you want me to continue reading this series, you can vote The Vanishing Stare. Alright, next up. Okay, the last book that I got from McKay's is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. I have read and unhauled that, so. Alright, next. Okay, let's start over here. So, these first two books are actually books that I pre-ordered that came this month. Ugh. So the first one that came out was Payback by Kristen Simmons. I have read and still own Payback. Love that series. I think that's book 3 in the Deceiver series. Alright, next up. And then the other book that I pre-ordered is a big book. That is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I have read and still own A Court of Silver Flames. Yay. I was worried about what that big book was. Alright, next up. Okay, the rest of these books are all books that I ordered online. So let's start with this one. Or here, I'll just pull down this whole stack. Okay, the first book I have here is called Just Dreaming by Kirstine Gear. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Just Dreaming. I don't know if I still have this series or not. Okay, so it looks like I do still own the series. So Just Dreaming is book 3. And I haven't read any of them. So let me tell you about book 1. And that's what you can vote for. Book 1 is Dream a Little Dream. This says, mysterious doors with lizard head knobs, talking stone statues, a crazy girl with a hatchet. Yes, Liv's dreams have been pretty weird lately, especially the ones where she's in a graveyard at night watching 4 boys conduct dark magic rituals. The strangest part is that Liv recognizes the boys in her dream. They're classmates from her new school in London, the school where she's starting over because her mom has moved them to a new country again. But what's really scaring Liv is that the dream boys seem to know things about her in real life, things they couldn't possibly know, unless they actually are in her dreams. Luckily, Liv never could resist a good mystery, and all 4 of those boys are pretty cute. So if you want me to read this, vote Dream a Little Dream. Alright, next up. Okay, next up we have Winter Glass by Lexa Hillier. I don't know about Winter Glass. I unhauled that. Alright, let me get my earbud back in. Alright, next up. Next up is a book that I'm really excited to read. I'm a little intimidated by it, but I know everybody that's read it has loved it. And that is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have read and still own Illuminae. I can't remember if I gave it 4 or 5 stars, but I loved it. Alright, next up. Okay, next up is Crystal Storm by Morgan Rhodes. I have unhauled Crystal Storm because I just remember I unhauled that whole series. Alright, next up. we have this big stack right here. Ugh. Oh gosh. Okay, next up we have Save Me by Jenny Elliott. I don't know. I unhauled that one. Next. Okay, next up we have The Body Institute by Carol Riggs. I don't know about this one either. Okay, this is one that I do still own and I have not read. This is Meet Morgan Day, one of the top teen reducers at the Body Institute. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, Morgan can temporarily take over another girl's body, get her in shape, and then return her to her own body, leaving her client slimmer, more toned, and feeling great. Only there are a few catches. For one, Morgan won't remember what happens in her loner body. Once she's done, she won't recall walks with her new friend Matt, conversations with the super cute reducer she's been text flirting with, or the uneasy feeling she has that the director of the Body Institute is hiding something. Still, it's all worth it in the name of science, until the glitches start. Suddenly, residual memories from her loner are cropping up in Morgan's mind. She's feeling less like herself and more like someone else. And when protests from an anti-Body Institute organization threaten her safety, she'll have to decide if being a reducer is worth the cost of her body and soul. Interesting. So if you want me to read this, vote The Body Institute. I'm actually surprised at how this has gone so far. I only have 8 on the list. So right now, I only have to read the number 1 voted book. There'll have to be 2 more that I still own and haven't read before I have to pick the top 2 voted books. All right, next up. Next up, we have A Whole New Tale, or A Whole New World. This is A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell. I'm not sure. I actually unhauled that one. All right. Next up. Okay, next up we have Girl of Nightmares by Kendar Blake. I believe Girl of Nightmares is the sequel to Anna Dressed in Blood. Let me see. Yes. And I still own both of these books. I have not read Anna Dressed in Blood. So that's what you'll vote for if you want me to read this. Let me tell you about Anna Dressed in Blood. This says, Cass Lowood has inherited an unusual vocation. He kills the dead. So did his father before him, until he was gruesomely murdered by a ghost he sought to kill. Now armed with his father's mysterious and deadly theme, Cass travels the country with his kitchen witch mother and their spirit-sniffing cat. They follow legends and local lore, destroy the murderous dead, and keep pesky things like the future and friends at bay. Searching for a ghost the locals call Anna Dressed in Blood, Cass expects the track hunt kill. What he finds instead is a girl entangled in curses and rage, a ghost like he's never faced before. She still wears the dress she wore on the day of her brutal murder in 1958, once white, now stained red and dripping with blood. Since her death, Anna has killed any and every person who has dared to step into the deserted Victorian she used to call home. Yet she spares Cass's life. So if you want me to read this, vote Anna Dressed in Blood. Okay, so this is 9 we have now. And I don't know how many from that stack is still sitting below the screen where I can't see. There's still at least 10 minutes of the video to watch through, so we'll see. But yeah, 1 more, and I'll have to pick the top 2 voted books. All right, next up. Okay, next up is another first in a series, and that is Denton Little's Death Date by Lance Rubin. I'm not sure. Okay, I do still own it and I have not read it. This says, ride through the last hours of a teenager's life as he searches for love, meaning, answers, and just maybe a way to live on. Denton Little's Death Date takes place in a world exactly like our own, except that everyone knows the day on which they will die. For Denton, that's in just 2 days, the day of his senior prom. Despite his early death date, Denton has always wanted to live a normal life. But his final days are filled with dramatic firsts. First hangover, first sex, first love triangle, as the first sex seems to have happened, not with his adoring girlfriend, but with his best friend's hostile sister. Though he's not totally sure, see first hangover. His Anxiety builds when he discovers a strange purple rash making its way up his body. Is this what kills him? And then a strange man shows up at his funeral, claiming to have known Denton's long-deceased mother and warning him to be aware of suspicious government characters. Suddenly, Denton's life is filled with mysterious questions and precious little time to find the answers. So if you want me to read this, vote Denton Little's death date. Okay, so that puts us at 10, which means I'm definitely going to have to pick the top 2 voted books. I feel like with that stack that I moved down, there can't be enough left for me to have to possibly read the top 3. So I think I'm safe on that. But let's see what else you can vote for. All right, next up. Next up, we have A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I feel like I still own this, but I have not read it. That is correct. This says, an unflinching, darkly funny, and deeply moving story of a boy, his seriously ill mother, and an unexpected monstrous visitor. At 7 minutes past midnight, 13-year-old Connor wakes to find a monster outside his bedroom window. But it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting. He's been expecting the one from his nightmare. The nightmare he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatments. The monster in his backyard is different. It's ancient and wild, and it wants something from Connor. Something terrible and dangerous. It wants the truth. From the final idea of award-winning author Siobhan Dowd, whose premature death from cancer prevented her from writing it herself, Patrick Ness has spun a haunting and darkly funny novel of mischief, loss, and monsters both real and imagined. So if you want me to read this, vote A Monster Calls. All right, next up. Okay, so this next book I kind of made as an oopsie because I thought it was a standalone, because I think most of Colleen Hoover's books are standalones, but this one apparently is not. This one is actually a novella, so it is book 2.5 in this series. The series is called Hopeless, but book 2.5 is Finding Cinderella. Okay, I definitely haven't read that. I do still own it. I do believe I got the first book in that series. Okay, I do still own Finding Cinderella, but I also own Hopeless. I haven't read anything in that series. Hopeless is the first book, so that's going to be the one that you can vote for. This says, sometimes discovering the truth can leave you more hopeless than believing the lies. That's what 17-year-old Skye realizes after she meets Dean Holder, a guy with a reputation that rivals her own, and an uncanny ability to invoke feelings in her she's never had before. He terrifies her and captivates her all in the span of just one encounter, and something about the way he makes her feel sparks buried memories from a past that she wishes could just stay buried. Skye struggles to keep him at a distance, knowing he's nothing but trouble, but Holder insists on learning everything about her. After finally caving to his unwavering pursuit, Skye soon finds that Holder isn't at all who he's been claiming to be. When the secrets he's been keeping are finally revealed, every single facet of Skye's life will change forever. So if you want me to read this, vote Hopeless. All right, next up. Okay, next up we have The Half-Life of Molly Pierce by Katrina Leno. I don't know. Okay, it looks like I do still own this, and I have not read it. This says, for all of her 17 years, Molly feels like she's missed bits and pieces of her life. Her memory is perforated with holes and gaps, but then a horrible accident changes everything, and now she's starting to remember her own disturbing secrets. Bit by bit, Molly uncovers the separate life she seems to have led, and the love that she can't let go. An intricately woven debut psychological mystery and a profound coming-of-age story for fans of Made You Up by Francesca Zappia and All the Bright Places by Jennifer Nivian. So if you want me to read this, vote The Half-Life of Molly Pierce. Alright, next up. Next up we have another first in a series, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. I feel like I read this one. Okay, so I'm looking at this one, and I didn't mark it, but there was like a year. I think it was, gosh, I don't remember what year it was. There was one year that I like didn't put anything on Goodreads for the entire year. And I feel like this was during that time because reading the description, I remember reading this book. And I'm pretty sure I just gave it like a 3.5 or something like that and unhauled it. So even though I don't have it marked, I am going to double check that, like looking on my shelves and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I got rid of that after reading it. And Daughter of the Siren Queen. All right, next up. Next up is actually a copy of a book that I already own, but I have a paperback copy, and well, I came across this and I was able to get it cheap, and it's a hardcover and a signed edition of 13 Reasons Why. This is the deluxe 10th anniversary edition. It says featuring an introduction from Jay Asher, deleted scenes, original ending, and more. I don't know. I feel like I unhauled that, but I'm not sure. No, it looks like I still own this, and I have not read it. This says, you can't stop the future, you can't rewind the past. The only way to learn the secret is to press play. Clay Jensen returns home from school to find a strange packet with his name on it lying on its porch. Inside, he discovers several cassette tapes recorded by Hannah Baker, his classmate and crush, who committed suicide 2 weeks earlier. Hannah's voice tells him that there are 13 reasons why she decided to end her life. Clay is one of them. If he listens, he'll find out why. Clay spends the night crisscrossing his town with Hannah as his guide. He becomes a first-hand witness to Hannah's pain, and as he follows Hannah's recorded words throughout his town, what he discovers will change his life forever. So if you want me to read this, vote 13 Reasons Why. All right, next up. And then last but not least, I read another book by this author and really enjoyed it, so I wanted to get this one as well. That is I See London, I See France by Sarah Milanowski. I don't know. Okay, I do still own this and I have not read it. This says, I see London, I see France, I see Cindy's underpants. 19-year-old Sydney, not Cindy. 19-year-old Sydney has the perfect summer mapped out. She's spending the next 4.5 weeks traveling through Europe with her childhood best friend Leela. Their plans include Eiffel Tower selfies, eating coco gelato, and making out with très hot guys. Her plans do not include Leela's cheating ex-boyfriend showing up on the flight to London, falling for the cheating ex-boyfriend's très hot friend, monitoring her mother's spiraling mental health via text, or feeling like the rope in a friendship tug-of-war. As Sydney zigzags through Amsterdam, Switzerland, Italy, and France, she must learn when to hold on, when to keep moving, and when to jump into the Riviera, wearing only her polka dot underpants. So if you want me to read this, vote I See London, I See France. Out of 34 books, I have 15 that I have not read. Still not great numbers. Still got like nearly half the books owned and unread. Okay, so here are the books that you can vote for the upcoming month. The Gravity of Us, The Black Flamingo, Killing November, Surrender Your Sons, The Castle of Tangled Magic, The Vanishing Stair, Dream a Little Dream, The Body Institute, Anna Dressed in Blood, Denton Little's Death Date, A Monster Calls, Hopeless, The Half-Life of Molly Price, 13 Reasons Why, I See London, I See France. So comment down below which book or books you would like for me to future editing me here. It seems as though my camera cut out right there at the end, but I just wanted to say to comment down below which book or books you'd like me to read in the upcoming month. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!